Hey guys, and welcome to a bonus episode of Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. Now, for those of you wondering, this is not Disc 2. No, this is an old file that I had laying around. Figure I might as well go back and kind of explain some things to you guys. Now, for, your reference, if you're not interested in manipulating emulators or how to do it or anything to do with emulators, video's not for you. Go do something else. YouTube's full of interesting stuff. Go find someone interesting to watch. Or you could watch me. I'm interesting, aren't I? Somebody tell me I'm interesting. Somebody go down in the comments right now. Just say I'm interesting for no reason. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so my plan for this is I just want to go over how to kind of manipulate emulators, specifically in this game, to influence certain things. So I've already got a battle queued up here, and that's one of the things you can do with save states. If you make a save state run to a certain part of the map, you'll always run into the same enemy as long as you don't zone between two different areas. Now, to show you, if you run over here and you're in between these two areas where you can run into the 00 parts guy, let's fast forward, you will run into the 00 parts guy. However, load back to my previous spot. We'll go in here. Now let's go back to an area where you can't run into him. And you'll run into this guy, and that'll happen every single time. It's one of the ways that the emulator kind of sets itself up. You're saving an existing state. So you're saving everything from your time code to, chances of enemies dropping things, to chances of enemy using an attack. And they don't change unless you change something to do with the input. So let's go and run into this guy. Part of this video I want to use to kind of show you guys one of the easier ways of farming gold, specifically from this guy. There are other enemies to do this with later on in the game, but for now I would like to show you, this one. Now, this is the 00 parts guy that, I've talked about before. He drops 600 gold and a spirit potion. That's his guaranteed drop. I don't think I've ever seen him not drop it. Excuse me. And so yeah, what ends up happening here is it's set up. And so a lot of the times he'll just want to kill you and then run away from battle. Now, I already know exactly what's going to happen based on a certain number of things. Dart will always miss there if you choose to attack with Shauna. So let's see here. Let's use Albert to attack. Do his addition, and it hits. Now, if I attack with Shauna here, he will counter by killing me. So we've came into this battle and all four our characters have attacked 4 times in a row. He'll counter by killing me. Probably Shauna, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and she auto-revives because of the Angel Robe, I believe it's called this time. I think I was saying something else last time. So yeah, he does that. Okay, let's try that one more time and we'll show off some other aspects. This time, hurry up. I'm going to use a different save state here. Now, if you do something else, say, remember last time Dart missed. He wasn't able to hit because Shauna attacked. If I have Shauna guard here, fast forward through his animation, now Dart is able to hit. Now, as you see, you can kind of manipulate how the enemy is going to respond, or whether you're going to hit or not, etc., based on, using save states. And of course, the first character hit, and now the second character misses. So last time, since Shauna attacked first, she got the hit, Dart missed, and then Albert was able to hit. This time, Shauna guards, Dart hits, Albert misses, so therefore Shauna should be able to hit. That's not always 100% the case. It doesn't have, the first, X amount of moves are always kind of played out. That's not always the case, but it is sometimes. Yeah, so you're going to run away. So let's load the previous one that I made at the start of this battle here. So yeah, there are a lot of different ways, and specifically with these guys, because they tend to kill you a lot and then run away, you don't always get your item. So one thing that I find is very effective is you save state on a different save state. Say you're playing through the game and you always save on slot 1. So this time you save on slot 2 or slot 3 as soon as you get into the battle against one of these guys, and you get a turn. You know, on the very first turn. And then what you do is you try different combinations of attacks until you manage to kill him. And, you know, if you fail, you can just keep reloading your save state and trying over and over again. This can be tedious and sometimes too tedious. If enemies, just doesn't matter which combinations you try and you're in the battle for a long time, you can't figure out how to kill them, you've tried tons of different combinations, then just run away. Run away and try again. You know, run into another one and try it again. This still is probably in the top 2 of best ways to farm gold in this game, and it happens quite early. We will be able to come back here on later discs, and I will do that. I won't be doing a lot of grinding on screen, but, you know, here it is. I actually figured this out ahead of time so I'd know exactly how the right combination to kill this guy. So we attack with Shauna, we attack with Dart, and he misses. And I fast forward through animations that take forever. Now with Lavitz, or still calling him Lavitz, god damn. With Albert, we're going to hit the first one and then miss, purposely. Because this again can change how the enemy will respond. Sometimes if you complete an addition, then he'll respond by killing you. Other times you do half the addition and he'll respond by attacking you, or say with a different enemy, he might raise a physical attack barrier. And now I want Shauna to use the magic signet stone. Now he's down to half life because this guy has a total of 4 HP. And he's going to make one move. He can't move. And then I'm going to have Lavitz attack, Albert's attack. Wrote down my information wrong. Great. And then I'm going to have Dart attack and only hit the first part. Then I'm going to have him miss purposely. He's going to be unable to move. And then Shauna's going to deliver the finishing blow. Now this won't always happen. It won't always be the same pattern going into the fight. Obviously, different characters in your party will have a different impact as well, as will each individual encounter with the enemy. See, as I was saying, you get a spirit potion which sells for 10 gold, as well as 600 gold straight up. So that's one and the most effective way we have at this current time of grinding for gold. You don't have to do a lot of grinding for gold, but you do have to do some if you want access to all of the items that I'm going to show off in the Let's Play. So there's one other thing we can do by manipulating spots with save states, and I'll go over that momentarily. Okay, we're back, and this is what I was talking about. If you recall when I killed Congo in, the previous episode there, I said and showed off that he can drop an item. Now, if you make a save state, and I've got him right weakened right now, you can manipulate what you're doing in order to get the item that you want to drop. Now, presumably this works with items that have really low drop rates, though you have to, assume that the chance of changing 1 or 2 actions will spawn that drop rate to, the game to, go through a switch and say, oh yeah, we're going to drop that if he kills him on this turn with this attack. That's obviously going to be a lot less likely on something with a 2% drop rate as opposed to something with, say, a 15% drop rate. So there we go. So I've got my save state loaded here. I'm going to attack with Shauna. She's going to do negligible damage. And then if Albert completes his addition here, he's going to die. And we're going to pick up the item that we want, the War God Calling. Now, if we load up my state again, say if I have Shauna guard, and then have Albert finish him off. Fast forward because it takes too long. We get nothing. Now, there are a number of different combinations that will work. If you go into her Dragoon form, and I might as well show this off. I don't think I've ever shown her Dragoon off, the transformation sequence. Very Sailor Moon-esque, put it that way. The whole magical girl genre, just weird to me anyway. But admittedly, I did watch Sailor Moon growing up. I admitted it. Somebody else in the comments say that they watched it too. Come on. If I choose to attack with Shauna here, it will one-shot him because he only has, negligible amount of HP left, and I don't get it. However, that's the right one. If I transform and instead use her Moonlight tech, again, I haven't shown this off, so I might as well show off the animation. This is the, revive and heal 100% to a single target spell called Moonlight. And what this will do is, if the ally is dead, it'll revive him or her instantly and restore all HP. Even if they're alive, as you can see, it restores all HP. And if I have Albert attack now and complete his addition, again, we get the War God calling. Now, this is a very effective way of trying to get the rare drops from boss fights, specifically if they take long periods of time. And admittedly, this is how I've been doing the majority of them. When I say, oh, I'm going to go off screen for a moment, usually what I did is right before I recorded the episode, I went to the point right before killing the boss, made a save state, and then loaded a previous save in order to show you the episode, and then I just load the save state. So the amount of time between me disappearing on, the screen where I don't have the item and actually getting the item is usually under a minute or two while I try and figure out the proper way of getting the item to spawn for me. So yeah, admittedly I'm using kind of a cheap out method in order to get the items, but fighting the boss over and over again becomes tedious quickly. So I don't really want to do that and kind of lose my train of thought or whatever I was talking about prior to the boss fight ending. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. So yeah, I went over how to farm gold and effective ways of doing that. And there is one other thing I did want to kind of show off. This one I won't be able to do in this video because of time constraints and because I have to change my recording setup if I was to do it. We'll see if that one ends up going in there. Basically, the other one was going to deal with emulation changes. And I'm going to unload that because I'm tired of that music. But yeah, if you choose the need, if you, run into a situation where you're unable to progress in the game due to your emulator glitching out or not loading, or you need to use Dragoons to get past the boss fights on Disc 1 that have required you to, not use Dragoon forms. I think Frugal is one of them, and Drake is one of them, and what's his name? Dole. Dole is the other one. I think those are the three on Disc 1 that are real problems. If for some reason you can't get by them without using your Dragoon forms and you want to find a way to still use this BIOS and then to get past it, I will show that off in another video. Anyway, that's all for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time.